So the first thing we're going to do is buy our hosting. Now there's lots of different hosting platforms out there, but I really recommend that you go with InMotion hosting. I'm going to tell you why now. The first thing is their speed. They are an awful lot quicker than anything else out there. This means that whenever you're editing your website, you're going to be able to do it a lot faster than if you use another hosting program. For the price that you're paying for InMotion, you're going to be able to get some great speeds. Their second plan, their power plan, has twice the speed of any of their original server, which is still faster than other servers out there. Also, with InMotion, you'll be able to get yourself a free domain name if you haven't got one already. If you have, great, but if you're starting out again, get yourself a free domain name with them. So with InMotion as well, there's a 99.9% upkeep. This is incredible for the price that you're paying. No other server of this price has this kind of level of support. This upkeep means that whenever your website's up there, any server crash or anything that might just bring your website offline for a point of time is going to be extremely rare with InMotion. With other hosting platforms, it becomes an issue. With InMotion, I've certainly found absolutely no problems with mine whatsoever. And finally, with us here at Website Built by You, you'll be able to save 25% off the power plan. So this is the second price plan, which I'm going to show you in a second, but you'll be able to save 25% off with them. So what I want you to do is click this button here. You can click any of the links here to go and purchase InMotion hosting. So we'll click this. And here we are. So what we want to do is we want to go into WordPress hosting. And as you can see here, we've got 3 different packages. Now, there's 3 different packages here that will relate to different businesses. With here, we've got this launch package, which they say is great for small blogs. Everything with unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, and unlimited email is all across the board for all 3 packages. Where it differs is where you have 2 websites, 6 websites or unlimited websites, and the performance goes up as well, from 2 times faster to 4 times faster. And the Pro comes with a Pro level of support as well. I find InMotion as well has some of the best support you can have, especially even with these 2 packages. There's online chat 24/7. They're US based. They'll be able to help you out at any point with whatever you've got. So I highly recommend that you go with either launch or power. The only difference is having slightly more websites to assign to the hosting platform, but also the 2 times performance. So I'm currently with Power. I find it works really well for me. It helps me get my work done a lot quicker. But if launch is where your budget is, and for starting off, that's more than okay. So for this order, we're going to go through the launch. And we're just going to go for 1 year. As you can see that it's an extra $1 just to go for 1 year. 2 years is going to be $5.99 a month. This is still an absolutely tremendous price. So we want to go here, click this link. And here we are ready to go. So I'm just going to empty my cart here from before. We just want to go back in there. Okay, so here we go. The first thing that it's going to happen is it's going to ask, would you like to purchase a domain name? Now remember, with this offer, you get a free domain name. So if you don't have a domain name already, a domain name is just what you want your website to be called. So I'm going to call this website website for fun times. Let's see what website for fun times comes up with. It's available, so we can add it to our cart and have our fun times. And as you'll see here, even though we've got a free domain name, it has added domain privacy as well to our basket. Now, domain privacy is just basically it's keeping your details protected. I've sort of find that there's not really much difference. You're really just paying $10 just to avoid a couple of cold calls from different website companies. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove that and continue on with my basket. And as you'll see here, it's going to ask for protection again, and I'm going to say no thank you. So with InMotion hosting, they're going to ask you if you want to upgrade to the power plan. This is the earlier package that we saw, which has the 2 times the performance and the 6 separate websites. Again, I'm going to say no thank you to that. I'm quite happy with what we've picked. So here we go. The 2 things here, you've got your data server. There's really not much of a difference between which one you pick. For me, I just go for whichever I'm closest to in the world. So at the moment, I'm in a nice little house in Ireland, so Washington DC is going to be closer for me, so I'm going to select that. But the really important thing is here, we want to make sure that we install WordPress. It's completely free, and it's just an add-on to what we want to have when it comes to our website. So make sure you click that button and continue. And this is where we're going to enter our email address. If you're, as a new customer, you're going to want to enter this here. You're not going to be asked for a password yet. That's going to come in an email later on. But what I want you to do is just go ahead, type in your email address, and follow the on-screen instructions, and I'll meet you just on the other side. Okay, so now we're just going to put in our details. So this is very simple. I just need you to follow the on-screen instructions, your first name, your last name. If you have a company name for your website and for your business, a registered company name, go ahead to put that in. If not, just leave it blank. Your country, this is all information that you should know. Make sure you get your confirmation email correct. And then just in the referred by, what I want you to do is just put website built by you.com. This is just to help them understand where you're coming from. And then you've just got your billing information down here, your card number, your expiry, and your signature code. Once again, I've already done this. I'm not going to put my card details in for you all to see. So I'm just going to jump on and meet you at the other side once again. So here we go. Now we've come to the next stage of our checkout. We've put our card details in, we've put our email addresses. I've just scrolled down this page a little so that you can't see my details. What we want to do next is just click this agree button. That's the only thing that you'll need to do on this page, and then just check out. Now, once again, I've already purchased my hosting, so I'm not going to click this button, but I'll show you exactly what happens next. Okay, so now it's time to install WordPress. So as you can, if you want to go back to the website, we've got the text instructions of how to install WordPress here. You'll notice here that the first step is from the email you'll have received from InMotion. Click Get Started and reset your password there. So all that's going to do is set your password up and get you ready to go. I've already done that, so I'm just going to take you straight down to step 3 once you've got your password set up. And what you want to be here is in the AMP, which is the Account Management panel. So what I want you to do is scroll down here, go to Install Popular Software. And then what we want to do is install WordPress. So we've got our password and we want to just go in there. Okay, so now what we want to do is get started. So here it'll ask whether you want to have a www dot before your website. I prefer not to nowadays, so I'm just going to keep that there. And what you need to do is just select the domain that you wish to use. So we've got, so this is the domain I'm going to use to set up. We don't need to have anything in the directory, we just leave this blank. And then we've got our site name and our site description. Now this will automatically say my blog or my WordPress blog. So what I want you to do is just give it a site title. So for me, website built by you. And then just a site description, creating amazing websites. So you don't need to put too much thought into this because you will be able to change this in the settings when it comes to building our website. So if you're not quite sure of what you want your site description to say, then we can change that at any point. All this is going to be is just what's going to come up here. So for example, the site name for this page is InMotion Hosting, and the site description will be this part here. So now what you need to do is create a username and a password. So go ahead and create a username and a password. This is what you're going to use to log in to your WordPress. So I'm just going to hide my password here. So we're going to have Ed and then we're just going to have our admin email address. So we can just keep that at admin, or you can scroll that back to Ed, whatever your name is, for example. Select your language. And then if you would like WordPress to lock out after a certain amount of time, for example, you've forgotten your password and you want it to lock out after 5 times, go ahead and check this button. Or if you'd prefer not to, that's okay. And what you want to do is just type in your email address for the instructions to be sent to you of how you're going to install WordPress or how you're going to log into WordPress. We've got a couple of advanced options here, and they're all to do with auto-upgrading WordPress and auto-upgrading the plugins. You can check these. I prefer just to leave them unchecked, just because I like to have a little bit more control. Sometimes I don't want to update something until I maybe wanted to actually sit down and read exactly what's going to change and if I have to do any editing on the spot. So I'm going to leave those unchecked. Backup location. This is another great thing about WordPress. About InMotion, that the backup hosting is completely free. So if something does go wrong and you hit the delete button by mistake and you need to get some things back, a quick contact to them and they'll be able to help you out. So what I want you to do is click install. Now, I'm actually just going to change the website for the purpose of this. So website install. And so just after we've hit install, you'll see that the data is starting to install there. And we're all done. So all you have to do is check your emails and all your information will be sent to you there. And then if you want to log in, just click this here. And there we go. You'll either have to log in with your details for the first time there, or it might just come up like this. So there we are, and now we're ready to install WordPress. And now we're ready to install our theme.